Lunch breakers and takers, do us a favor. Take a minute to hit that like and subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos in the future. All right, so rumor mill. We got some rumor news come out today, linking the Ravens to Corey Davis. So I think the account was NFL Rumors. In fact, said that the Ravens are going to pursue Corey Davis in free agency, and to that I say good, and we need some more.
Yeah, we've been saying that for a while. They need to go after Corey Davis and Curtis Samuel. That'll give them two pretty good. I mean, Curtis Samuel can play all over, but that'll give them two good outside receivers. Hollywood can move to the slot, where I think he'd be more effective than he has been. And then they could use their draft picks to address all of these spots on the O-line that need addressing.
Yeah. And I can't stress enough that we need to really pour our resources into the O-line, offense in general, but that O-line, I don't know. I just don't feel that sense of urgency from Ravens fans when it comes to that O-line, right?
But luckily you do hear it from DeCosta.
Yes,
he always hammers that point every time they talk about the offseason.
Yeah, because I'm just going to keep reminding you guys, when we trade Orlando Brown, we're only going to have one proven player on that O-line, and that's Ronnie Stanley. Ben Powers isn't proven. Tyree Phillips isn't proven. Bradley Bozeman isn't proven. I know a lot of people like Bradley Bozeman. He's played solid at times, but he hasn't been consistently good game in and game out. I wouldn't call that proven. What's his name? Castillo Colon. Not proven. Colon Castillo. I always do that. I know I'm going to mess it up. I always do that. We have some guys that have some potential for sure.
Mm-hmm. But
we need guys that we know when they get out there, they're going to ball out. We need that. And when we trade Orlando Brown, it's going to be a question mark. So we have to be aggressive, really putting in some resources into that O-line this offseason. We need to either draft really high or get some guys in free agency. So targeting Corey Davis to me tells me they found a right wide receiver at the right price, because despite what some people think, I don't think Corey Davis is going to get a big contract.
Yeah.
I don't. This offseason is just, it's just not a lot of money out there for teams, and he's not the top player at his position. He ain't the third best player at his position that's going to hit free agency. He may not be the fourth best player or fifth, depending on who gets re-signed.
Yeah, that's why we identified him and Curtis Samuel.
Yes.
Like both of them, you can probably get it at reasonable prices, and they're both very talented. Corey Davis, he hasn't lived up to expectations. He was a top 5 pick. What was he? Was it top 7? He was a top 10 pick for sure. Let's put it that way. And we know that Baltimore said that they were very interested in drafting him at the time, but obviously he didn't fall to their pick.
Right.
But this year he came out and he tied his career high for receptions and posted career highs in yards per catch, 100-yard games, and touchdowns. So he had a very good season this year. As he's hitting free agency, so good for him.
Yeah.
But like you said, I'm thinking maybe somewhere in the 10 to 12 range for him per year. And that's fine. And Baltimore needs to wake up to the fact that they have to invest in that position. You cannot. You tried the cheap way already. You tried the cheap way. You drafted Hollywood. You drafted Miles Boykin. You drafted Duvernay. You drafted Prochet. And you hate your wide receiver core.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get around it, especially on offense. You have to pay for talent. You just have to. And if you think he's not talented enough to pay that kind of money for, all right, well, then the next step is paying Kenny Golladay or Allen Robinson. And, you're talking about 18, 19, 20 mil a year. You can't say, well, that's too much money. It's not. That's what it costs.
Yeah.
All right. If you think, Corey Davis is a solid wide receiver, I just don't want to pay 10 to 12 million for him. Well, guess what? You better adjust your thinking, because that's going to be the cost. All right. Whatever number you have in your head, it doesn't matter once the actual numbers come out for what these receivers are going to get paid. Right. The market is the market. It doesn't matter what you thought it was going to be. So it might be that it could be cheaper. I mean, that's the other thing too. It could be less than that. they can get out there and realize, hey, these teams just couldn't get under the cap, and there's only like 3 teams that can pay me, right?
Right.
And if less competition means less money for these guys. So I mean, I think that's a perfect person to target for the Ravens.
Well, but by that same token, though, like nobody really knows what's going to happen in free agency this year.
No.
There's going to be a lot of guys I think who get cut to get those teams under the cap. So you better be prepared to pay more, also.
Yes.
Which is something that Baltimore never is.
True.
Somehow they're always shocked when good players hit free agency and make a lot of money.
Yeah, they gotta have a game plan. So either it's get somebody in free agency or make a trade. There were rumors that we were interested in trading for Adam Thielen, so revisit that if need be. Right. I'm still a big fan of Julio Jones. I know a lot of people don't like Julio Jones in Baltimore for whatever reason. I can't imagine why. Don't talk to me about injuries. Okay. He could play. Yeah. Whatever you got to do to get a higher quality wide receiver, go and do it. Go and do it. I mean, you and I have talked ad nauseum about all the different ways we can go and acquire a better wide receiver. So the Ravens just need to go out there and do it. And yes, if they get Corey Davis, yeah, you and I don't think he's going to cost that much, and that would also leave us room to go and sign like a center, like you talked about, or a guard or a tackle, whatever is going to be available. So that will help our offense, both wide receiver and O-line.
Yeah. If you want to see exactly what we think Baltimore should do, from their own free agents to the wider free agency to trading Orlando Brown to the draft, hit up patreon.com/LBHT show, and we have our Ravens off-season plan posted there just for patrons.
That's right. So that's the latest rumor news. And yeah, like we said in the last video, and we're going to say in the next video, stay tuned.